Hello, my name is Viki Richardson, Coordinator for Outreach Programs here at beautiful Brookgreen Gardens. In honor of International Dog Day, I would like to read you a book that I wrote, which is one of several books in the magnificent Brookgreen Storyhouse book series. A book called Angus the Gentle Giant. The story is by myself, Viki Richardson, and art by Millie Dowd. It was a beautiful spring day at Brookgreen Gardens. Benny was with a group of school children visiting Brookgreen on a field trip. Benny was lagging behind the line of children because he was in a wheelchair. He saw the other children hurry off excitedly as they gathered round a woman in the distance. His teacher, Mrs. Mcdonald, saw him struggling along and came back to help him. "Come on, Benny," she said with encouragement. "Would you like to meet Angus with the other children?" "Who is Angus, and why is everyone so excited?" asked Benny. "You'll see," she said with a smile. Mrs. Mcdonald pushed him through the group of children, and Benny came face to face with the biggest dog he'd ever seen. It was huge, with scruffy gray fur and wearing a green vest with Brookgreen Gardens written on it, and the name Angus was written on the side of the vest. Benny had never owned a dog, and he wasn't too sure about this one looming before him. When Angus saw Benny come through the crowd of children in his wheelchair, his ears perked up. Benny was right at his eye level, and he looked a little scared. Although Angus was a big dog, he loved children and was very friendly and gentle. To say hello, Angus leaned over and licked Benny on the cheek. "Uh-oh, watch out, Benny," Mac, one of his classmates, called out jokingly. "This dog is so big, it doesn't even have to jump to get all over you." Benny's eyes grew bigger and bigger, and his body stiffened. The lady holding Angus pulled him back gently and said, "I'm sorry. Angus loves children, and he'll clean your face." "Are you sure he wasn't just tasting me to gobble me up later?" asked Benny. "Mac, come help me, please." The nice lady chuckled softly. "He's not harmful, and he won't hurt anyone," she said to the two boys. "I promise." Then she turned to the group. "Hi, my name is Megan, and I would love to tell you about Angus and why he is here at Brookgreen Gardens. If all of you would like to sit down on the grass around him, I will get Angus to sit as well." All the children sat down on the soft grass and watched Megan pull a small treat out of the pouch on her belt. She held it out so Angus could see and smell it. As Angus looked at it with anticipation, Megan began a hand signal and said, "Angus, sit." Angus licked his lips and sat down on the grass. "Good boy, Angus," Megan said as she fed him the treat. Content, Angus decided to lie down with the children on the cool grass and take a break too. Benny was feeling better now. Angus didn't look so big as he lay calmly on the grass. Maybe this trip will turn out all right after all, Benny thought. Megan waited for the children to settle down, and she started to tell Angus's story. Angus is a Scottish deer hound. His ancestors were used to hunt deer in Scotland. His breed is referred to as a sight hound because they hunt by sight rather than by scent, said Megan, pointing first to her eyes and then her nose. Benny raised his hand and asked, "Is that why he has such long legs, so he can run fast?" "That's right, Benny," Megan answered. "Angus can run very fast. But let's talk about why Angus is here at Brookgreen Gardens. Anna and Archer Huntington are the founders of Brookgreen Gardens, and they used to raise Scottish deer hounds. Anna had tuberculosis, and she wanted a reason to get out of her sculpture studio so that she could get fresh air and exercise. Colleen, a classmate, raised her hand and asked, "Miss Megan, did Anna run with her dogs?" "My dad runs with our retriever." Megan chuckled as she pictured Anna running with her deerhounds. No, she did not run with them, but she got out and walked the beach at what's known today as Huntington Beach State Park. That's where they lived, and she would watch the dogs run. When she traveled to Connecticut and visited her dog kennel at Stanwig, she would tie the dogs' leashes to the back of a horse carriage and drive it to allow the dogs to get more exercise. Mac picked up a twig and asked, "If I throw this real far, would Angus gallop like a horse to fetch it?" "He might," Megan said, "but because I'm holding his leash, he'll be obedient and not run away. His speed could startle some of the guests." "Did the Huntingtons have a lot of dogs in their kennel?" Benny asked. "Yes, they did. Anna and Archer loved dogs. They helped bring the Scottish deerhound back to this country from Scotland. Their first dog was named Kelpie, and she was the mother of many puppies that were raised at Stanwig Kennels. Deerhounds are very social and loyal dogs, so it was easy for Anna and Archer to fall in love with the breed. Angus is related to the dogs that Anna and Archer owned, and we are lucky to have him today." A little girl named Erin raised her hand. "Miss Megan, were there a lot of deerhounds in Scotland?" she asked. "Not as many as you would think. A long time ago in Scotland, the only people who could own and hunt with a deerhound were the nobility. No one lower than the rank of an earl could own one. When Scottish clan system collapsed in 1745, so did the population of deerhounds." Benny looked around the garden and saw all the sculptures, many by artists. He raised his hand and asked, since Anna was a famous sculptor, did she do any sculptures of deerhounds? "Good question, Benny," Megan replied. "Yes, she did, and some are here at Brookgreen Gardens." Angus stood up and yawned. He then took a big stretch, spreading his long front legs out in front of him. Bounding back up, he looked pleased with himself. The children all laughed, even Benny. Angus then leaned against Megan and nestled close to give her his idea of a hug. "Miss Megan, I was scared of Angus at first because he is so big. But now I see he is just a gentle giant," Benny said. Megan smiled. "I'm so happy you feel that way, Benny. A wise man once said, 'A dog is the only thing on earth that loves you more than you love yourself.'" The children all clapped for Megan and Angus, who leaned over to lick Benny on the cheek one more time. This time, Benny reached out his hand and rubbed Angus's head as he chuckled, "Silly old dog.